Trump held a presser again, like as he always does, basically every day, because he's that accessible to the press. And it was actually because he invited them to another executive order signing. And so as he was signing this order, you know how he does his crazy signature, and then he like holds it up for everybody.
Yeah.
He's like, look at my new executive order.
Yeah.
And Caitlin Collins from CNN was there along with many other reporters, and she just decided that it was time for her to start asking questions, even though it was not time. And he put her in her place. We actually have two angles of the same.
Oh my God, I love it.
Because the second one actually shows her face. Okay.
Yeah.
So first you're just going to see the camera on Trump, and you'll hear what he says to her. Basically, he shushes her, which is amazing. And then I'll just let it run through the second time where you'll see her face. So here is that moment.
Well, that's a good one.
Mr. President, you won the White House in part because of high inflation. If your tariffs make prices go up...
Excuse me, we haven't asked you to speak yet, please.
Mr. President, you won the White House in part because of high inflation. If your tariffs make prices go up...
Excuse me, we haven't asked you to speak yet, please.
Banked. Yeah, kinder, gentler, and with even bigger balls. I give you Trump 2.0. Big balls.
We haven't asked you to speak yet.
No, sorry.
We haven't asked you.
Yeah. Do you know that I was shot in the head? Do you know that, Caitlin?
Right? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a bit of Caitlin today because he clearly hates her. Like, it is palpable how much he hates her.
I can kind of relate.
She is awful to him. There's no question about it. And so she asked him, because Mitch McConnell, of course, once again, the lone vote that didn't, he didn't vote in favor of RFK Jr. And this is the second time now that he's voted against a Trump appointee. And so Caitlin wanted to ask Trump about that. And somehow in his response to her, he not only managed to completely insult Mitch McConnell, but also Caitlin in the process. Here is that moment.
Mitch McConnell has now voted against several nominees. He voted against RFK Jr. as the next health secretary, citing conspiracy theories. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I feel sorry for Mitch. And I was one of the people that he wanted to go to the end, and he wanted to stay leader. He's not equipped mentally. He wasn't equipped 10 years ago mentally, in my opinion. He had an ability to raise money because of his position as leader, which anybody could do. You could do it even. And that's saying a lot. But
Dumbass.
I mean, and she just has to take it, right? Like, what is she going to do?
Nothing. And she should take it after all the abuse that she's inflicted on him over the past however many years. What has it been? 8 years at this point? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's well deserved. I would be doing the same thing.
Well, and he didn't stop there. He continued to rip on her network as well, talking about the fact that this war between Russia and Ukraine would have never happened had he been president. He was talking in that context when he also ripped on CNN.
Have been done by Biden years ago. This should have never been allowed to happen. I know he's a friend of yours.
But couldn't Putin just withdraw his...
He's a friend of
today?
CNN. That's why nobody watches CNN anymore, because they have no credibility. Okay, who else? Yes, please.
It's just non-stop. I cannot. It's the greatest. Every day she wakes up and she's like, well, I got to go take another beating today. It's like, that's your job now.
I know, right? Like,
And
that's her job now.
You made that bed, man. You did it. So he's not the same president that he was in the first term. He's exponentially better, and he is kinder and he is gentler, and he will like apply a smackdown in a way that's kind of in a roundabout manner. And
Yeah.
I love that. It's so different.
And he just has no F's to give. Not a single one.
Not one single F.
And another thing that you shouldn't be just kind of thinking, well, now that Trump is in office, everything's going to be fine. And so you don't need to be maybe thinking about disaster planning or emergency planning. You do. Even though things are the way that we want in terms of who's in office, you should still be making thoughtful choices about your own readiness. And you can get help with that from ReadyWise.com when it comes to having emergency food on standby. So I just discovered today, I know we've talked about the soup, like we've talked about their self-heating kits. These are amazing. And all of their meal kits and their soups are absolutely delicious. Of course, they've got the freeze-dried fruits and veggies, which are also fantastic.
So good. Yeah.
I just discovered today, you guys, and there's no way I would save these for an emergency. I know me. They have cookie dough bites for snacks.
Yeah. That's not, listen, I'm gonna eat that right now. I mean, there is no emergency. And if there's an emergency, I'm not gonna be like, I need cookie dough. I need them right now. That's great for like camping and stuff. You take them camping. Yeah.
The emergency is I'm watching TV and I need a snack. That's my emergency.
The emergency is this halftime show sucks. I'm breaking out the cookie dough bites. Right.
And I also wanted to tell people, because they also have like cool camping gear, outdoor gear. I saw the coolest thing. It's like in my shopping cart right now. They have a flashlight, one of those multi-use flashlights that also has like, it kind of looks like one of those pocket knives that have all the attachments, except that it's a flashlight that includes a seatbelt cutter, a windshield breaker, red alert lights, and a phone charger all in one.
That is really cool. It's a great gift for like a new kid that's driving too,
Yeah. And I think it's like less than $40. I mean, it's
great.
It's pretty awesome. So check out ReadyWise.com. You can use code CHICKS20. You'll get 20% off anything you buy. Your entire purchase, you will get 20% off when you go to ReadyWise.com. Again, that code CHICKS20. CHICKS20. And you know what's sad is that I found out this clip of her from when she worked at the Daily Caller. And she was so pretty because she hadn't been hardened by leftism.
Liberalized. She hadn't been liberalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was soft.
We could do a side by side of so many women that have done that over the years.
Yeah.
Like when you become liberalized and feministized or whatever, you become
I mean, she's really, and it's not an age thing. It's not that I'm saying she's aged badly.
No.
She's just hardened. And you'll see it in this little clip of her from back in the day on Fox reporting about George Soros, of all people, from the Daily Caller.
Nation's capital. Caitlin, what does that mean? What's George Soros trying to do with the immigration crisis?
Good morning. Okay, so George Soros is this foreign-born left-wing guy who essentially wants to change the nature of our country.
Can you even believe the difference?
Yeah, there's a big difference there. I also think some of it's age.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't think she looks older. I think she just looks meaner.
She looks meaner and like more angular
and unhappier.
Well, it's like she had baby fat in her face still. You know what I mean? Which a lot of people do, like in your 20s and 30s, and then you just sort of, I don't know, that kind of goes away. But she's a little bit more chiseled, if you will. Maybe that's on purpose. We just don't know it.
Person. Oh my God.
Maybe there's different. I don't know. Maybe that's on purpose.
You think like she had some?
I don't know. Everybody.
I think it's just leftism. I think it's just being miserable and having that ideology. It just makes you look awful.
It sucks the innocence and joy out of your life and out of your face. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's what happened. All right. Trump in that same setting also talked about his new tariff plan, which I made you read the big tweet about. But here he is talking about it.
Short-term disturbance, but long-term, it's gonna make our country a fortune.
So Americans should prepare for some short-term pain.
No, you said that. I didn't say that.
Only if the prices go up.
Let's see what happens. Nobody really knows what is going to happen other than we know that jobs are going to be produced at levels that we haven't seen before. We know that we think interest rates are going to ultimately be coming down because of things that happen, and they go hand in hand with the tariffs. But we think that the prices for some things, many things, it could be all things, will go down. Ultimately, will go down.
You know what's kind of weird is Trump doesn't wear a wedding ring.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, there's no
like ever.
I don't know. There wasn't one on his left hand. He may just not wear one. Some guys just don't wear them,
That's interesting. I've never noticed that.
Right. We know that he's married,
Right. I mean, there's no question about that. Let's not start that rumor.
If you looked at his left hand, there was no ring on it. So I just found that interesting.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Has anybody else everybody can do some research and see if there's photos or whatever with.
Yeah, a lot of men don't.
Somebody said, Kim said he's never worn one.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of men just don't. I mean, everybody knows he's taken, so it's not like he has, and I know that it's more than just that. I know that the ring is more than just that, but still, some guys just don't like wearing them because especially like guys that, that are blue collar working guys. My husband has a hard time with like a ring on his finger just because, he's like always out working and doing stuff. And I'm surprised your husband isn't the same way.
Oh, when he was a race car mechanic, he would take it off. Like when he was working on the race cars, he would take it off.
Yeah. So this thing, they get in the way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's true. But that is an interesting thing like that you noticed. Remember when we talked a lot back when Biden was faking his presidency about BRICS and how these other nations were putting the US dollar at risk because they were, combining to like use their own currency or whatever.
Right.
And Joe Biden never said word one about it. Like he's such a freaking wuss. And now the Trump effect is working once again. Here is what he said about BRICS.
Spoken against BRICS. India is part of BRICS. Do you want to dismantle BRICS or you want to be part of it?
I don't care, but BRICS was put there for a bad purpose. And most of those people they don't even want to talk about it now. They're afraid to talk about it because I told them if they want to play games with the dollar, then they're going to be hit with a 100% tariff the day they mention that they want to do it. And they will come back and say, we beg you not to do this. BRICS is dead since I mentioned that. BRICS died the minute I mentioned that.
Again with the balls, man. Just crazy.
And he had like the president of India with him yesterday evening. So, and they did a joint presser together, which by the way, I should have gotten the clip, but I didn't pull it. There was a cute moment where President Modi said, is it president or prime minister? I forget.
Prime minister. He's a prime minister. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Prime Minister Modi said something about how, we have MAGA. And then he also wants MEGA. He wants to make India great again.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that the two combined are mega.
Oh my God. I love that.
Cute. It was really cute.
I heard about the MEGA and I was like, that's really, I mean, a lot of these leaders look to him and they're like, how can I emulate that?
Mm-hmm. And then he said it would be mega. I just thought that was so freaking cute.
Mega, you guys.